hello and welcome. We'll be doing paper 1, the entire set. This video is about CDP, and after this, you will also find videos of math, EVS, both English and Hindi. So let's dig in. So this code is code I, paper is with code I, and you can match with whatever code that you have. Generally, you will find that they start a question at a particular, so you find which is the first question, which question it corresponds in your question paper. And the next few questions will be in order. So they generally change the order once or twice. So while participating in a sports competition, Tanuj tells his friends that he will participate in javelin throw, and his sister can participate in jump rope because she is a girl and cannot throw javelin. So this is depicting gender stereotyping. While divergent thinking is dash, convergent thinking is dash. So while divergent thinking encourages multiple answers, convergent thinking will is fixed on one solution. So yes, I'm marking both the English and the Hindi because I don't know whose paper this is. So this person has answered the questions in Hindi and it may not be correct. So I'm therefore marking the Hindi ones also. The person could have done it correctly and also could have done it wrong. So that's why it's best that I mark out the answers. Question 3 is which of the following statement about inclusive education is not correct? Inclusive teaching means teaching in ways that do not exclude. This is correct. Inclusive teaching means adopting pedagogies that support the need of all learners. It accommodates differences in language style. So this is the last one. It centers around fixed curricula and standard. This will be incorrect. So option 4 is the correct option. Question 4 is assertion and reason. Learners construct their own knowledge based on what they already know. Reason is finding patterns and making linkages with previous knowledge helps them to process information meaningfully. So both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. Question 5 is another assertion and reason. Childhood is experienced differently by children across culture. This is true. Children's development is universal. So I'm not really sure what they mean by this. Children's development is universal. They are universal, it's not uniform. So I will go with both A and R are true, whereas R is not the correct explanation of A. Reason is children's development is universal. So yes, Piaget said that they are universal stages, but childhood is experienced differently. So they will go through the same developmental stages, but they will experience it differently based across culture. So both A and R are true, but R is not the reason for A. Just because they are universal, but I will go with A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation of A. This person has gone with 1. I would have gone with 2. So according to attribution theory of motivation, which is a theory of motivation which we study, which basically talks about what do you attribute motivation to. So which of the following is more likely to result in persistent effort and improved performance? So this will be an internal attribution for success as well as failure. So person has answered. That means if I know that I can control whether I'm a success or a failure, there will be persistent effort and improved performance. Question 7, which of the following is a key principle of progressive education? Standardized tests, no. Passive recipients, no. It should be based on authentic tasks. It should be the correct one. And it should be predetermined, no. So option 3 is correct. Here he has put 4. It should be 3. Reasoning, thinking, and problem solving are explained in which aspect? So this is the cognitive development. The person has put correctly. Vygotsky proposes that dash is important for self-regulation. So inner speech is important for self-regulation in children. In Laurent Kohlberg's moral development theory, children move from understanding consequences of acts to determine whether they are good or bad to understanding that rules and laws are flexible and can be changed. So this is correct. So they do move from this, and Lawrence Kohlberg argues that moral development occurs progressively in stages. So both A and R are correct, and R is the correct explanation of A. As per Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligence, which of the following set represents correct match of intelligence and associated characteristics? So Intrapersonal is others is wrong. It is inside. Logical, mathematical is not athletics. Music is performance. I think this will be the correct one. Spatial is appreciating natural world. So that's wrong. So musical is performance and or composition skills is this. Question 12, which of the following statement is not correct about learning? So we need, it depends on previous knowledge. This is correct. Implies reorganization. Yes. It is facilitated by social action. Correct. It is a product rather than a process. So this is incorrect. It is a process. Person has answered correctly. Problem solving is fostered by, so it is fostered by divergent thinking. 14. According to Kohlberg's theory of moral development, at what stage are children self centered and see their own benefit? This is the tit for tat, commonly called the tit for tat. And this is at the second stage of the first level. Question 15. Inclusion of children belonging to disadvantaged groups demands awareness and sensitization towards diverse tradition. Definitely, it will require this. Encouraging identity based, no stereotypes, no isolation, and no ability grouping. So, one is correct. Which of the following is the characteristics of effective feedback in a classroom? So, no option. So, it should be timely and specific. It has to be, it should not be given only at the end of the task. It should not be broad and generic, and it should not be only focused on the outcome. So, it should be timely and specific to what is the feedback you are giving. 17. Proximodistal principle states that in infancy, the limbs continue to grow faster than the hands and feet. Development from head to toe is wrong. That's cephalocaudal. Development of language we're not talking about. Physical occurs rapidly with development of. So it is limbs continue to grow faster than hands. 18 is assertion and reason. School curriculum should be given reasonable space and value to learners' cultural knowledges. Yes. Supporting students to uphold their cultural identity, facilitate learning. So yes, A is true and R is true, and R is the correct explanation of A. 19. Which of the following would not be characterized as formative assessment? So given at the beginning of a new concept, you're part of that assessment during the class, yes. That is helpful in comparing students. We never want to compare students. So option 3, this will not be characterized as formative assessment. Which of the following is typical of dyslexia? So this time they have put it as a phonological processing. So dyslexia, we keep calling it as inability to read, but basically what it means is if you see the word cat, you don't know that this is to be pronounced as k or sir, and this comes as at. So that phonological processing does not happen. That is why the child cannot read. It is not a creative problem solving difficulty or a physical coordination or a spatial awareness problem. So maybe by even elimination, you could have come to this. Which of the following types of question can assess a student's ability to evaluate information? Simple definitions, no. So anywhere you are asking for their personal opinion, that will be the correct answer. Asking for examples that validate the text would be an understanding question. So impairment is a dash condition, it's a biological or a physiological condition. So by that you get this answer. So impairment is when you are not able to do something. You don't have an eye, you can't hear. So that's a biological or a physiological, that's a better word, condition. Whereas disability is a functional condition. That means you're not able to, because you don't have your eyes, you're not able to read, but maybe you can hear and do something. So that's a disability. So impairment is biological, whereas disability is functional. Which of the following aptly defines relationship between cognition and emotion? So they are interdependent. That would be the only answer. They are not independent. They both depend on each other. Language development in primary classes is facilitated by, so they should use concrete examples to refer to abstract. They should be the good answer. Formal language, no. Ignore mother tongue, no. begins from symbols and then so. So from concrete to abstract, this is from your maxims of teaching. This is with the correct answer. I think this person has put 2, so this should be wrong. Much of the following correctly describes intrinsic motivation. So personal joy, enjoyment, this will be intrinsic motivation. Which of the following are examples of scaffolding? So thinking aloud is scaffolding, prompts and cues, questions being asked, half solved examples, wrote, nothing about wrote is. So A, B, C, D. This is the correct answer. Question 27. In the course of development, children achieve gross motor skills before fine motor skills. So this is called proximodistinction. As per Piaget's theory, which are the following distinguishes between concrete operational from pre-operational. So from pre-operational is your 3 to 7 years, and this is your 7 to 11 years. So coordination of senses, this is sensory motor, this is formal operation, object permanence. So this is the decentralization. In a pre-operational thinking, the child is decentralized, so there's no centration anymore. 29, after getting out in a game due to rope getting stuck in her leg, Aru says that the rope deliberately got her. This is animistic thinking. Okay, so what stage is animistic thinking? It is in the pre-operational stage. Socio-constructive views of learning advocate that. So socio-constructivists, they are passive, no. They actively construct, uh, lecturing, explaining, no. And recall and rehearsal, no. So learners actively construct their knowledge. So those were the questions of CDP of paper 1 of the 21st Jan 2024 paper. And next I will be working on the maths. Do check it out. Thank you for watching.